is your body's natural way of cooling itself down. Then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
Want to welcome back someone that we shared information on the radio with here a number of years ago, Melody Lapczynski, and lean into that microphone right there. And we want to tell people what you're up to these days. We know that you have been involved with putting together the Carlisle Building book, which has turned out to be successful.
Yes, it has.
And we know that you're working on another book as well, and that's kind of gotten you involved with the Purple Heart Monument fundraising.
It is. I'm working on a book about the Ohio Military Hall of Fame. And during an interview that I had up in northern Ohio with someone, they had mentioned that they had just gotten another city designated as a Purple Heart City, and I thought that was just absolutely wonderful. Yeah. My brother-in-law is a Purple Heart recipient, and I think it's just an absolutely wonderful way to recognize our veterans. So that was last year, and then COVID hit, and then everything just got locked up, fell apart, whatever. And come February of this year, I started back with the project.
Good.
The Purple Heart Project.
Purple Heart Cities, I honestly hadn't heard about this until, as I mentioned in the teaser, traveling down through towards Kentucky, and I happened to see a couple of Purple Heart signs, investigated a little bit, and this is rather unique, isn't it?
It is very unique. First of all, just so anybody that might not be aware of it, the Purple Heart Medal is actually the oldest medal in American history. It dates back to George Washington. At that point, it was called the Military Award or the Medal of Merit. And later on, it evolved into the Purple Heart Medal that we are familiar with now. The Ohio Military, not the Ohio Military Hall of Fame, the Military Order of the Purple Heart is a congressionally sponsored, funded organization that has branches in, I believe, every state. And Ohio's Military Order of the Purple Heart has worked very, very strongly to help get different entities, I will say, in Ohio designated as a Purple Heart, because you don't have to be a city. You can be a Purple Heart City, you can be a Purple Heart University, you can be a Purple Heart Park. There's a lot of different things that you can be. And as of the time that I started looking into this a year ago, there were almost 100 different entities within the state of Ohio.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
A very cool thing.
Yeah. You mentioned your brother-in-law is a Purple Heart recipient. Mm-hmm. Please wish him thank you for us and for his service. People see the Purple Hearts on license plates across Ohio and other parts of the country as well. These guys and gals who have served and especially getting at the Purple Heart in a special way.
Yes, very much so. To get a Purple Heart, you had to have either been wounded or killed by enemy fire. So it is a very distinct. It falls right below the Medal of Honor.
Yeah. Recall there was a period of time in which I was a valet out at Adena, and whenever you would see that license plate come in, you'd see the Purple Heart on there. You took extra special care of those fellas.
Yeah.
So now we are wanting to put a monument here. Is that right?
We are. As of June 28th of this year, Chillicothe was officially designated as a Purple Heart City. To do that, oh my gosh, I knocked on so many doors. I had probably 70 plus letters of support from different entities in the city. And I chose my focus was the city, being a Purple Heart City, because at that point in time, it was just me. Now I have a wonderful committee that helps, and we all work together with this. But back then, it was just me, and I thought, I don't want to knock on doors all through the county. So going through the city, we had support from the smallest family-owned businesses up to the pet lands and the Adenas and the VA, to the fire department, the sheriff, the police department, Mayor Feeney's office. We've had state reps and senators that have signed on to it. So we've had a huge swell of support. So with all those letters of support, City Council put together a committee to see what we had to do to actually become a Purple Heart city. They were able to complete the steps that they needed to complete. Like I said, on June 28th, the Military Order of the Purple Heart came out, and they did a wonderful presentation with an honor guard, and they all had the purple jackets on and the Purple Heart ties, and it was really an amazing thing to see. So we then had that designation. So then the next step was, okay, we've got this designation, but like you said, you were driving through Southern Ohio and you saw these signs, and we have a Veterans Park here in Chillicothe, a Veterans Memorial Park between Yaktangi Park and Park Street, Park Road, whatever it is. So the next step was to get a monument that we could put into the Veterans Park and to get the signage. So what we have done with this committee is everybody that received, or everybody that gave us a letter of support for Chillicothe being designated a Purple Heart City, we started doing a mass mailing to them. So they all received copies of these letters saying, if you could give us some help funding this memorial, it would be really great. I've also been talking to other individuals that haven't given us the letters of support. And this committee has just been wonderful, because if I don't know somebody, Melody Young over at the Visitors Bureau will, or Connie Meyer will, because she's so involved in the community and everything. And it's just been a reaching out grassroots effort to get the money for this monument. What we have at this point is a monument that's out in Lebanon, Ohio. It's been really hard to find. What we wanted was a piece of black granite that we could keep it very simple, but somewhat understated, but got the point across. And then we found out that with COVID, we couldn't get a monument very easily, because things like that typically come out of China or India, and they're not sending things out of China or India. And as it turns out, this company in Lebanon had a really lovely piece of granite, black, that we're going to put the Purple Heart on the front. They do laser etching. They're going to put the Purple Heart on, and then probably a message very simple across the bottom, like Purple Heart City, Chillicothe, Ohio, June 28th, 2021. And across the bottom, thank you for all who sacrificed. Hopefully that will take place, and we'll be able to get this monument in and done by Veterans Day of this year. So we're looking at, if we can, November 11th of this year. We need to get the funding in by then. So now we're reaching out in other ways to the community, one of which is sitting here talking to you, to ask for donations to this monument. And I don't have that on me at the moment. But anybody that would like to donate to that could simply send in a check to the Chillicothe Visitors Bureau and make it out to Ross County Veterans Council. And we will be glad to take a check for $20. We will be glad to take a check for $220, as long as we can reach this goal. What I started to say earlier when you were driving down through Southern Ohio, in addition to this monument, we are also putting the signage for the city into this. I had talked to the mayor's office and Jeff Carmen and asked if he would like us to roll the funding for the signage for this into the fundraising that we're doing. And you mentioned Stacia earlier out at the VA. We have talked to her about putting signs up, and they had expressed an interest in putting signs up of their own. And I had asked Stacia, would it help you if we rolled funding into this effort for signs for you also? Because then you don't have to come up with something, and it will be consistent throughout Chillicothe. So what we're looking to do is get signage that I would imagine would go in on 50 coming in from the west 50 or Main Street going out that way. 23, I would imagine at the VA, at the north or south or both entrances, as well as the back entrance. So we hope to get all of that in, and then we'll hopefully also have enough left so that we can have a nice dedication ceremony on November 11th.
We can never do enough for our military.
No.
And everything that they've done for us.
Absolutely not.
Certainly. Again, if you want to make a contribution, check in with the Ross Chillicothe Convention and Visitors Bureau. As far as the checks are concerned, will you accept cash or credit card as well?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about credit card. I don't know that they're set up to do that out at the Visitors Bureau, but you can stop in and make a payment if you wanted to do it in cash, as long as we're able to record who it is. Mm-hmm. They can mail a check there, and again, make the checks payable to the Ross County Veterans Council and put on the memo section that it's for Purple Heart, because the Veterans Council obviously has other things going on, and we want to make sure that the funds go to the right place. Yeah. So
very good. Anything that we have missed?
Yeah. One other thing that I really wanted to say, and I know it's going to sound really corny, so please just bear with me with this, but when you're talking about driving around and seeing those signs, one of the big things for me with this whole push to get Chillicothe designated as a Purple Heart City and to have it be shown on the streets as you go by, first of all, our veterans are absolutely amazing, amazing, amazing people. You know, it doesn't matter if they got drafted. It doesn't matter if they volunteer to go in. It doesn't matter if it's peacetime or not. You never know where they're going to go, and you never know what kind of harm that they can be put into because they feel so strongly about supporting and protecting their country. That's one thing. The second thing is in the back of my mind, here's the corny part, is that I would like to think that as a car is going down the street and mom and dad are going somewhere and they've got little Johnny or Sister Sue in the back seat, and one of them says, "Hey mom, hey dad, what does that sign mean, that Purple Heart sign?" I am hoping that mom and dad will be able to tell that child the significance of what that veteran or what a veteran has done to be able to get that Purple Heart, and how important it was to Chillicothe that Chillicothe went through all of the steps that they needed to go through because they wanted to recognize our servicemen and women. And I think that's really important.
Not corny at all. I like the idea. Yeah. Melody Lapczynski, thank you so much for joining us. And
thank you very much for
keep us up to date